On October 22, 2001, GTA 3 hit store shelves. Fans of this series and video games in general are shocked by the excellent work Rockstar North has done, presenting a criminal world with an interestingly silent protagonist who dramatically begins his criminal journey in a New York City-style city called Liberty City.
I'm an ambitious girl. You're just small time.
Players enjoy great moments spent in GTA 3, and the creators deservedly count the money from sales, which, by the way, exceeds their wildest expectations. Even though at the time of the release of this part of the cycle, there are already several competing games from developers who want to repeat the success of the first parts of GTA. There's no denying that all these productions are simply weak compared to GTA 3. Take a look at Driver 2, which was created only a year earlier. Although a huge amount of work has certainly been put into this game, it has in no way translated into reducing the loss to the top of the series, which is, of course, Grand Theft Auto. But that's nothing, because in the following year, on October 29 to be precise, GTA Vice City hits the market, completely killing it. The warm coast of Florida, bathed in sunshine, is the perfect setting to tell the story of a confident man who, in 1971, faced an unpleasant chain of events that resulted in spending 15 years behind bars. However, returning to the very place of action, it literally cannot be better. The blue water, the sports cars, scantily clad women, and beautiful palm trees have shaped an astonishing picture of a city that is flourishing at its best. It thrives on drugs, which bring huge capital to the economy of this region and the entire United States. Indeed, Vice City is not very large, especially when we look at the metropolises presented in the later installments of the series, not to mention San Andreas, where the playground created for the player is huge. By the way, some time ago, we made a video about GTA San Andreas, the thumbnail of which you can see on the screen. If you have a little more time, then check it out after watching this video. All this leads to the fact that, as you can see, the size of the map is not crucial at all. Vice City, despite its poor size, makes up for it with other advantages, through which it sucks the player in like a black hole, from which he does not want to get out. Strangely, this great location has only appeared in GTA Vice City and Vice City Stories so far. This city fits perfectly with the convention and nature of the series, but that's a small digression. Well, look at these pictures for a moment. Sunny Vice City is filled to the brim with colorful hotels and nightclubs, which only adds even more immersion and allows us to get into the role even better, to the point of not only are we playing Tommy Vercetti, but we're literally becoming him. In the game, we can find a lot of districts characteristic of Miami, which, for that period, quite accurately reflect the realities of those times, and most importantly, shows us a crime-stained city that, as we mentioned earlier, grew on the foundations of a criminal underworld with tons of white powder smuggled from South America. Moreover, the developers decided to present the already very interesting world in an even more intriguing way. The game has a lot of fascinating references to movies from that era, as well as a lot of curiosities that can be found in the game at almost every corner. The rich resource of side activities in the game means that we have something to do all the time, and we can't complain about boredom. The wide range of tasks is partly duplicated from the previous installment of the cycle, but it's also been improved with many novelties, which in turn gives the impression that we're dealing with a world of infinite possibilities. Various challenges thrown to the players by the creators, such as playing stunts or wreaking havoc on the streets, perfectly complement the plot threads, being a great escape for the player. It is similar to less sophisticated forms of spending free time, such as breaking records in beach ball headshots or driving a bus. These minor variations make GTA Vice City a game that effectively takes away from the player the idea of pressing the escape button and quitting the game. You can simply lose yourself in GTA Vice City. All this is deliciously complemented by the phenomenal soundtrack from the game, which we can listen to during playful sightseeing tours around this city. A diverse selection of radio stations of all kinds in a very accessible way completes our delight. GTA Vice City presents us with songs from the greatest charts of the 80s, but in all of this, which is also worth emphasizing, it's not limited to the music genres that gained the greatest publicity at that time. Naturally, in the game, we'll find primarily rock and pop music, but also American rap, new wave, or Latin music. The point is that everyone will find something for themselves. And if there are people who are more interested in what's going on in the game world, they can, at any time, turn on 2 stations broadcasting interviews with the biggest creme de la creme of Vice City. We can hear interviews with, among others, Alex Shrub, a famous politician, sports star BJ Smith, or Love Fist singer Jez Torrent. In all of this, the icing on the cake is the thrilling storyline that presents the cliched but still loved from zero to hero theme in a very interesting way. What we have to say right away is that the storyline of the sunny Vice City stands out from other video games such as Mafia. The key difference is that GTA Vice City does not only have the main plot, but also offers side threads. Yes, the career mode is a priority for every player, but sometimes there are moments when we're introduced to some non-story thread that we like very much, and we simply want to leave the main storyline for a while. In GTA Vice City, not only can we interact with various subplots, but they also contribute a lot to the main story. That is, they simply connect with it in a certain way. It's worth just doing them, but those who don't want to don't have to. We're talking about, for example, some missions for Avery Carrington, the Love Fist rock band, or Mitch Baker. Furthermore, the characters are undoubtedly a very important element of any storyline, and here, GTA Vice City receives the greatest applause when it comes to this aspect. A brilliant cast of voice actors was hired to make this video game, who showed their great talents on the silver screen many years ago. The game contains dozens of charismatic characters that have been played in an extremely professional way. The team consists of top-class actors such as Ray Liotta, who died some time ago, Luis Guzman, Philip Michael Thomas, Burt Reynolds, and Danny Trejo. Not only did these celebrities play their part in a cool style, but they also conveyed a piece of themselves in a way, giving the character they played an original personality.
Fool! 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 Tommy!
What, Ricardo?
These idiots, they're always trying to screw you. That's the problem with this business. What do you think you're doing? These pricks have failed me miserably.
In addition, the script did not lack humorous moments and was enriched with broadly understood satire. Although we are generally presented with a rather serious story from the perspective of a ruthless gangster, during the game, we often witness situations that could easily be suitable for cabarets or stand-ups.
And then I'm going to make love like a man. You know that, chica? Something like this.
Gross. Loser. Prick.
Hey, baby! I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Humberto Robina, he likes the ladies, not some goat in a skirt.
Coming back to the storyline of GTA Vice City for a bit, it is perfectly written. During the game, a lot of smaller or larger threads are going back and forth. The relationships between the characters are presented in a very creative and, above all, realistic way. And at the very end of this topic, there's still our diamond in the rough called Tommy Vercetti, the main character of this game. A character played brilliantly by the respected Ray Liotta. Vercetti proves to us all the time that you cannot mess with him. A man makes rational decisions, often conditioned by logical conclusions. From a small pushover of the Forellis, he turns into a drug kingpin with powerful prospects for the future. It's worth mentioning that although Tommy Vercetti is a great boss, you cannot forget that without his friends and the people he met on his way, he would not have reached the top. The man built his drug empire knowing jack shit about it, and he owes a lot to his would-be boss, Ricardo Diaz. Tommy took lessons from him many times, carefully observing how to progress in this industry, eventually surpassing the master and taking everything for himself. However, it should also be noted that Tommy learned a lot from real estate mogul Avery Carrington. In a very short time, the man taught Vercetti valuable lessons about buying businesses that were a cover for Tommy's illegal activities. In the meantime, let's move on to a point that will surprise a few people. We wanted to mention that we love GTA Vice City not only for what we got in the game, but also for what we got outside of it. We're talking about legendary collectibles that Rockstar Games Studio produced specifically for the promotion of this great game. The wide selection of items that are, or rather were available on store shelves, is pure gold. Starting from various physical editions and ending with soundtrack box sets and other goodies that amazingly decorate the shelves of the most devoted fans of the series. Fun fact, we also have a few such gadgets, which you can currently see in the attached screens. For us, it's a great treat because not only do we have something extremely unique that looks great in our collection, but we can also pay tribute to the publishers of one of the best video game series of all time. To sum up this episode, there are many reasons why GTA Vice City is such a beloved game. The wonderful vibes of the 80s, the great soundtrack, the addictive plot, the awesome characters, and many other elements made this game stay in our hearts and will never change. We invite you now to the Community tab, where a poll has been created in which we ask you which GTA, in your opinion, has the best atmosphere. As far as this episode is concerned, that would be all. Thanks for being with us and for continuing to faithfully follow our channel. Take care and see you soon!